What's up, guys, and welcome to Let's Play Zoids Battle Legends. Finally, I'm getting around to doing some playthroughs again. This is probably not the one you expected me to be doing, though. So yes, I am Obelisk as usual. Yes, I have a silly name, and I know it. But we're doing a very strange game based on a very strange anime, and I'm going to be skipping all the dialogue and all the cutscenes because you probably don't care about this story as much as I do, and I don't care about it either, and I'm a fan of the anime, and that's really saying something. So I think even if you're a fan of the anime, you won't care about the story either because it doesn't follow it. So we have our selection of characters and Zoids here. We have no new characters, but we have two selections of Zoids to choose from. I'm going to be sticking with the Command Wolf because it is superior, because of its mobility, and it is a sort of light infantry sort of Zoid. And the Cannon Tortoise is sort of a light, well, it's a giant cannon basically. But we don't have any other weapons we can attach to it, or any gadgets, subparts, or anything like that. Now these menus right here, this option and subparts thing, is translated directly from the Japanese version, so it may not be very clear what it is exactly. Here's the Cannon Tortoise real quick. I'm going to strip all the weapons off of that real quick, because that's usually what I do with Zoids I'm not using. And I'm going to give a little description on what a Zoid actually is. If you're watching this, I assume you already know, so it's good how it is. We don't have any other stuff we can clip to it. We can look at our map information here to see what we're up against. We're up against a TAC Cat, which is basically the other faction's equivalent of the Zoid we're using right now. And I'm going with the Republic campaign first, then we go through with the Imperial one. We'll just save real quick there. So this game, like I said, is two campaigns, both of which are very short. I'm going to be doing this one first and then doing the next one afterwards. This one I did a little bit of test playing first before I decided to go and record it, but the other one, though, I have not test played in quite some time. It's been a few months since I've played it, so there may be some things that I don't remember at all. So it'll be almost a nearly blind run because it's been so long since I've played this. So here we are, finally in the game now. The Zoid character models look pretty good for a GameCube game, honestly, but the environments leave something to be desired. So here we go, there's our opponent there, and he's running around with a shield, and we're basically going to be attempting to damage him with our cannon here. Doesn't seem to be doing anything because of his shield, and this is actually kind of a tricky battle to start off with, because he's sort of a mini boss when you really think about it, because he's got about twice as much health as we do, when his Zoid should have about as much as we do, if not 500 less. So if this was like a multiplayer battle, if it was one-on-one, you with this Zoid and your opponent with that Zoid, it would be that's what it would be like. But like I said, this is almost a mini boss because he's got so much health. But we're basically going to be, this is basically the strategy I'm going to be using for most of this game, is I'm going to be running around in circles shooting at it with the laser cannon weapon type thing. The melee attack is more powerful, and I'll demonstrate that here in a second, but it's just so much safer to use your guns. So I've already done a little bit of damage to him here. I might try to use a melee attack here. There we go, that did a pretty good amount of damage to him. Now I'm not an expert as far as this game goes, but that's why I'm doing this as a playthrough instead of a walkthrough. But I can get pretty cocky here with this campaign, because I think this campaign is pretty easy. Oh, ooh, that was close. Yeah, that shield will instantly knock you down. Of course, when you're knocked down, there we go. There's a demonstration of it right there. When you're knocked down, you can do that little spinning counterattack that he just did right there. So that can give you the opportunity to turn a battle around. But yeah, as far as this game goes, it's based on an anime, so it's not anything really special, but I think it's a fun game. So that's why I decided to do a playthrough of it. Alright, we defeated that one opponent. So our mission is complete. That's basically the mission structures and what it's going to be like throughout this game is, complete your objective and go back to the dialogue and then go back to your loadout screen. So, skipping more dialogue here. Very tacky loading screen there, but I guess it fits the display of the game. Okay, we won some new stuff from that battle. Got a couple new weapons, and now we have a booster for our Command Wolf here, and so we got some subparts as well. So, no new primary weapons. Let's see, Weapon Binder. That's a new missile launcher thing we can attach to the second slot there. I'm also going to equip the boosters because, as good as the shield might seem, the speed is really very important in this game as far as evading attacks. And here I am sounding like I know what I'm talking about, even though I just said I'm not an expert about this game. But I equipped all those new subparts as well, because we don't really have anything to choose from. Oh, I need to show the map info real quick before I start the battle. Okay, we're up against a Zaberfang and a couple of Sea Strikers. Now, a Zaberfang is basically a medium sort of infantry Zoid that the Empire uses. The Republic equivalent, I almost said Rebellion, I'm thinking Star Wars here, would be the Shield Liger. So it's a much more powerful Zoid than what we have right now. But if we keep our distance and keep hitting it with our ranged weapon attacks, then we should be able to take it down. But it's probably the most dangerous foe we're going to face for a little while here. And the Sea Strikers are basically cannon fodder. And although I don't remember ever seeing the Sea Strikers in combat in the anime, they were just sort of for recreation. But here's the Zaberfang. It's just a standard Zaberfang, though. It doesn't have any special augmentations or anything like that. Ooh, we paralyzed it there for a second. Let's demonstrate that weapon binder. It's actually two weapons in one. It's a laser beam and it's also a twin missile launcher. So you can try to line up your Zoid to try to hit it with the lasers, or you can wait for the missiles to hit it. Now that blue reticle that's surrounding the target is telling us that the missiles are locked onto it. So if we wanted to use those, then see, there we go. We got the two things lined up, so the missiles are going to try to hit it. Not doing a very good job, though. Typically, the missiles need a lot of range to be able to hit the target. Yeah, I got him. We both meleeed simultaneously, and luckily, mine hit first. So we've already dealt with the toughest foe on this map, so now we can just kind of finish off the cannon fodder here. Now, I didn't really take too much damage either, so you can kind of be a little ballsy from now on, because, you know, you've taken down the only threatening thing around here. But one thing that kind of bothers me about this game is that since you're only in these battlefields temporarily... Ooh, what happened to my camera there? You're only in these battlefields temporarily, so you're not going to be able to regenerate your health in any way. So if you take damage, that's it. You've taken damage. Nothing you can do. Of course, you start out each battle with full health, so... Kablam! That's another one down. Not entirely sure how many Sea Strikers we have to kill here. It might just be 3. Let's get rid of this last one here. Doing a horrible job at hitting this guy. Come on. Oh, I kind of got him there. Missed him again. And of course, come on. I'm just being impatient at this point, not even bothering to get back and hit him with my cannon. Remember how much damage that cannon was doing to the attack cat in the previous mission? Look at how much damage it's doing to this thing. That shows you the difference in their stats. Seriously, we got 2 more over here? Okay, maybe I was wrong. Yeah, at this range you should be able to hit them with the missiles. But these guys are one of very few Zoids in this game that actually fly. They just sort of hover above the ground. They don't really fly. But they still can sometimes be kind of hard to hit. I haven't even shown off the boosters yet. Typically what I like to do after I've knocked down an enemy Zoid with a melee attack is to leap backward with the C-stick. And, oh, I didn't even address the fact that this is... Wait, what? I won the mission, yet I didn't kill the last one. Oh, I think it's because you have to kill 5 or more enemy Zoids. It doesn't have to be, like, all of them. Okay, more dialogue to skip here. But yeah, like I was saying, this is probably going to be the one and only game I'll ever bring out the Wii for, because it's a GameCube game, and I'm playing it on the Wii that my family has, and typically I only have a handful of games that I really play on it, so most of the other playthroughs and walkthroughs I'm going to be doing are going to be on the Xbox 360 or the PS2. So we got some new, let's see, this is a radar type thing. I guess it's a little better than the radar we already have. We can check our stats with the Z button. It's going to be weird calling these buttons by the GameCube format. Okay, we have all this. We have basically the best subparts we can ask for. If you want to know what the subparts do, then, like I said, just check their stats with the Z button and figure out which ones you want. We got a new missile launcher here as well. That one is slightly better than the weapon binder, but it doesn't have the laser cannon on as well. But I'll be demonstrating that here in the next mission. I have 2 save files here, one for each campaign. Just so you know what the other one is. Now, ooh, hover. Oh, I remember this mission. Yeah, we gotta protect the hover cargo. Oh joy, an escort mission. It's how original. Totally haven't seen that before. Don't worry, it's not half as annoying as you think it would be. But this game actually has quite a fair, strong learning curve, just because of how weirdly it controls. I mean, strictly speaking, it's basically a third-person shooter, but it doesn't control like any other game you've played before. It doesn't control badly though. It has pretty solid controls for the most part. It's just the physics are a little weird, and you get hung up on stuff. Like I said, it's not a perfect game because most anime games aren't, sadly. But like I said, we got to protect this hover cargo, and here's a new type of Zoid over here. It's a Mulga, which is basically another cannon fodder Zoid. So the Mulgas and the Sea Strikers I just consider to be cannon fodder, and that's all we're going to be fighting in this mission. Ooh, crap! My missiles just hit the hover cargo, and they will damage it, but it's still pretty good on health. We didn't do anything too severe to it. God, I gotta be careful with those missiles. But yeah, those missile pods are actually really good at range. But we'll get some different missile pods as the game goes along. We'll be able to have missiles that shoot 2 at a time, and you can rapid fire them, or you'll get ones like this that shoot them all at once, and so on. Yeah, these Mulgas are completely harmless. I mean, they have hardly any weapons at all. They only have 1,000 HP, and granted we only have 1,700, but we can change that with our. I don't think we can actually change our max health. Now that I think about it, we can change our other stats with our subparts, and actually depending on what pilot we have will determine some of the stats of our vehicle. So I'll demonstrate that when we actually get another pilot here. You know, I'm just kind of derping around, walking around in circles around the. Oh God! Look at my character glitching there. I'm trying to walk around in circles around the hover cargo until the next wave of enemies come. I believe 3 waves of enemies come in this level total, but they're nothing that can threaten our command wolf here. They're completely inept. God, this thing is slow. It's taking forever to get down this road. I can just stand still here and not get outrun by. Okay, we got another enemy coming. It's a Sea Striker. These Sea Strikers have cannons on them, like our little laser cannon thing, our AZ 50mm WB cannon, or whatever it's called. Yeah, a lot of these names are really weird because, again, not a lot of this was translated from the Japanese version. Because, as you might know, some Japanese games and Japanese media in general has some words that are just listed in English. So, you know, why bother translate something that's already in English, right? Well, it might not make much sense, so. You know, you could always call it something different. You know, we're not going to get upset over here if we don't know the difference. Me trying to dodge missiles here. God, the Mulgas are just pathetic as far as their armor goes. And like I said, I only have 1,000 health, so. But some of them do have missile launchers, and I'm doing my best to dodge them here. Because we really don't have a whole lot of health left. We must have taken a bad hit a little while ago. No, I think I haven't mentioned our radar. Oh, I'm down to critical health. Now, when you're down to critical health, you can use a EX move, which is basically a super move, but I'm never going to use it because my GameCube controllers, honestly, are a bit crap, and I don't think I can hold down all 3 of those buttons at the same time and actually get it to work reliably. So I physically cannot use the EX move. Yeah. But there's that, and there's also that I like the challenge of not using it, so because they can be pretty powerful sometimes. So it'll just be more challenging for me to not use it anyway. So I mean, not that you would deliberately lower your health down to be able to use that EX attack. God, I stutter so bad sometimes. Anyway, I was going on, I think I was starting to rant on about the, ooh, we're almost there. Yay, the hover cargo finally got to its destination. Alright, that's going to be it for this part, sadly. We're up to 15 minutes here, so now the hover cargo has reached its destination. That's all for this episode of Let's Play Zoids Battle Legends.